Hare Radha Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Vinoda Radha Vinoda Radhe Radha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Subhadramaya Jai Sudarshana Jai Nityananda Natavara Gaura Sundar Nityananda Natavara Gaura Sundar Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की जय जगत गुरु शील प्रभुपाद की जय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 1, Text number 13. Bhavaya nashaya cha karma kartum Shokaya mohaya sada bhayaya Sukhaya dukkhaya cha deha yogam Avyaktadishtam janatanga datte Bhavaya nashaya cha karma kartum Shokaya mohaya sada bhayaya Sukhaya dukkhaya cha deha yogam Avyaktadishtam janatanga dhatte Bhavaya nashaya cha karma kartum Shokaya mohaya sada bhayaya Sukhaya dukkhaya cha deha yogam Avyaktadishtam janatanga dhatte Bhavaya nashaya cha karma kartum Shokaya mohaya sada bhayaya Sukhaya dukkhaya cha deha yogam Avyaktadishtam janatanga dhatte Bhavaya nashaya cha karma kartum शोकाय मोहाय सदा भयाय सुखाय दुःखाय च देहयोगम् अव्यक्तदिष्टं जनतां ददत्ते भवाय नाशाय च कर्म कर्तुम् शोकाय मोहाय सदा भयाय सुखाय दुःखाय च देहयोगम् अव्यक्तदिष्टं जनतां ददत्ते भवाय for birth, nashaya for death, cha also, karma activity, kartum to do, shokaya for bereavement, mohaya for illusion, sada always, bhayaya for fear, sukhaya for happiness, dukkhaya for distress, cha also, deha yogam connection with the material body, avyakta by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, tishtam directed, janata the living entities, anga O Priyavrata, dhatte accept. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear Priyavrata, by the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all living entities accept different types of bodies for birth and death, activity, lamentation, illusion, fear of future dangers, and happiness and distress. Every living entity who has come to this material world has come here for material enjoyment. But according to his own karma activities, he must accept a certain type of body given to him by material nature under the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 3.27, Prakrutehe kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashaha. Everything is being done by Prakriti, material nature, under the direction of the Supreme Lord. Modern scientists do not know why there are varieties of bodies in 84 lakh forms. The fact is that all these bodies are ordained for the living entities by the Supreme Personality of Godhead according to the living entities' desires. He gives the living entities freedom to act as they like. But on the other hand, they must accept a body according to the reactions of their activities. Thus, there are different types of bodies. Some living entities have a short duration of life, whereas others live for fantastic durations. Every one of them, however, from Brahma down to the ant, acts according to the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is sitting in everyone's heart, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto mattaha smrtir jnanam apohanam cha. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. It is not a fact, however, that the Supreme Personality of Godhead gives direction to certain living entities in one way and other living entities in another way. The truth is that every living entity has a certain desire, and the Supreme Lord gives him a chance to fulfill it. The best course, therefore, is to surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead and act according to his desire. One who does so is liberated. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tatati Sapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapatakabalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sadivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parjana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanitamscha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratvise Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostade Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyashta Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्र पाथमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम् Hare Krishna. Should I do in English or Kannada? Prabhuji, can somebody translate for Prabhu? I'll speak in English. भवाय नाशाय च कर्म कर्तुं शोकाय मोहाय सदा भयाय सुखाय दुःखाय च देहयोगं अव्यक्तदिष्टं जनतांगदत्ते. My dear Priyavrata, by the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all living entities accept different types of bodies for birth and death. Activity, lamentation, illusion, fear of future dangers, and happiness and distress. Hare Krishna. So this is the verse spoken by Brahmaji to Priyavrata. So Brahmaji has come to meet Priyavrata. Manu Maharaj also come to meet him. Manu tried to convince Priyavrata to take up responsibility of the kingdom and for that purpose enter into family life. So, but Priyavrata was not interested. So at that time, he was with his guru also, Narada. So he was not very interested in taking a family life and taking the responsibility of the kingdom. So at that time, high command comes, Brahmaji comes. And he says there is an emergency situation now. So somebody has to do this service, so please do this. And Brahmaji is telling that everything is controlled by the Supreme Lord, and this order is also by the will of the Supreme Lord. Because it is the will of the Lord, you should accept it and take up this responsibility, which is very important. You are thinking about your own welfare, but you have to think of the welfare of the society at large. The whole kingdom, many citizens are there, and you have to take care of them, and you also have to make arrangements for their spiritual progress. So you take up this service. So in that connection, Brahmaji is speaking all these verses. So one cannot avoid the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not by the strength of severe austerities and exalted Vedic education, or the power of mystic yoga, physical prowess, or intellectual activities. Nobody can avoid the order of the Lord. Nor can one use his power of religion, his material opulence, or any other means, either by himself or with the help of others, to defy the orders of the Supreme Lord. That is not possible for any living being from Brahma down to the ant. So this was spoken by the previous in the previous verse, how everything is controlled by the Supreme Lord. Nothing can happen without the sanction of the Lord. Everything is fully controlled by the will of the Lord. There is a story which comes in Kena Upanishad. There it is said that once all the devatas had assembled and one yaksha came there and then he put a blade of grass and he asked Agni Dev, so what is your power? Oh, I can burn everything. So he tried to burn this blade of grass and used all his fire power to burn the blade of grass. But he could not even touch it. It was as it is. So he got defeated and he went away. And then another person came. He was Vayu. Said, what is your power? He asked. Then Vayu said, I can blow everything. Acha, try to blow this blade of grass. And as Vayu, he started blowing the blade of grass. But it could not even go an inch also. So that was the. So then many other devatas got afraid. No, I'll not get into this competition. We'll all be insulted, humiliated. So then finally Parvati Devi came there. It said Uma Devi came and she said, she came to devatas and said, and then the Yaksha went away. Said, who was that person who was so powerful? There was blade of grass and we could not even move it. Then she said, actually it was Brahman. He was none other than Brahman, Supreme Personality of Godhead. He came in disguise and he was testing you because you people, you won this battle against the Asuras and you thought we have become victorious by our own strength. So Lord understood that you are very proud. So he came to test all of you and show your real power. So not even a blade of grass can move without the will of the Lord. Right? So that much is the control of the Lord. So this story in that Upanishad, Kena Upanishad, shows that how everything is controlled by the Lord. So even the blade of grass, the leaf in the tree, everything is controlled and acting by the will of the Lord. So we have to understand. So one who understands this, that everything is controlled by the Supreme Lord, he is peaceful. Bhoktaram Vigatapasam Saroloka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarvabhutanam Gyatva Mam Shanti Mrachati. So one who understands that Krishna is the supreme controller, supreme enjoyer, Bhoktaram, supreme enjoyer, Yajnatapasam, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, he is the supreme controller of all the planets. Suhridam, and he is also a supreme well-wisher of us. Such a person becomes Shantim Rachati. He will attain peace. But those who think that I am the controller and those who go on to control this world, they will be thoroughly frustrated. They will be thoroughly defeated. Parabhavastavad abhodajataha yavanna jignasata atmatattam. So all the material endeavors of people who think they are the controllers will be ultimately defeated. But those who inquire about Atma Tattva, Jivasya Tattva Jignasa, they will be victorious. But those who inquire about material things, they will be defeated. Because that is arising out of ignorance, abhodachataha. Ignorance means considering this, I am this body. That's called ignorance. So whatever we do on the platform of bodily consciousness will be defeated. It's utter waste of time. But whatever is done on the platform of spirituality, Krishna consciousness, that is of actual benefit. Kamasya nendriya priti labho jivete yavata jivasati tattva jignasa nato yascheha karmabhi. All our desires should be utilized to serve Krishna for Atma Tattva Jignasa, not for Indriya Trupti. So those who engage in Indriya Trupti, whose goal of life is sense gratification, they will be thoroughly defeated or frustrated at the end of life. So we can see that happening. Those who do not take to Krishna consciousness in the early part of their life, right? So those who get at the fag end of life, they understand the purpose of life at the fag end. They lament, why didn't I get this early? If I had got this early, I would have saved so much of time. I wasted my whole life in sense gratification. So they lament. So those who have got Krishna consciousness when they are young, they are fortunate because they have understood the purpose of life. But another unfortunate thing is those who have got Krishna consciousness in the early part of life, but they are not fully convinced. They are like na ghar ka na ghat ka. No? So that is the situation. So anyway, coming to the shloka here, right? Can we reduce little volume? It's little echoing too much. So everything is controlled by the Supreme Lord, and our happiness and suffering, that is also controlled by the Supreme Lord. Bhavaya nashaya cha karma kartum, shokhaya mohaya cha sada bhayaya sukhaya dukkhaya. So all these things are coming because of the desire of the Lord. Avyakta dishtam. Avyakta means the unseen power. Prabhupada translates avyakta dishtam. Avyakta means the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is not seen by our naked eyes. Yesterday, Prabhuji was taking this verse. Yaha pashyati na pashyanti. Lord sees everything, but we can't see Him. And we can't see Him doesn't mean that He doesn't exist. He exists, but He is avyaktam. He is not manifest to our material vision. He is manifest only through spiritual vision. So, avyakta dishtam. Similarly, the word, we call it as destiny, ordained by their destiny. So, and in Kannada we use the word adrishta. Nam adrishta kattogide. Adrishta, that which cannot be seen. Right? What cannot be seen? The Supreme Lord's desire cannot be seen by us. And our own karma which we have done in the past life cannot be seen by us. Adrishta. So it is coming. Sometimes happiness, sometimes misery. It is coming and going, but we can't see the cause. We can't see who is awarding it. So that's why it's called avyakta. Avyakta dishtam. It is directed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So on the living entities. So Janata means all the jivas. So bhava means birth, nasha means death. So birth and death, and in between we do a lot of karma activities. And when we are living in this world, we also experience shoka, lamentation, moha, illusion, fear. Sometimes there is fear, bhaya, and there is sukha dukkha, material happiness and material miseries. Why all these things are happening? Because of deha yogam, because of contact with material body. So, the Lord is the cause of all these things. Happiness, distress, and all these experiences which we have. And the soul experiences all these things. But then we also say that the question will arise, no? Okay, if the soul is miserable, soul is happy, soul is dying, soul is taking birth, it is doing activities. But on the other hand, there is also a statement which says that Anandamayo Bhyasat, the soul is always full of happiness. So can soul suffer? That is the question. What do you say? Can soul suffer? Yes or no? Yeah, okay. In illusion, the soul can suffer. Can the soul suffer? Like if you are saying in illusion soul is suffering, then who is suffering? False ego. Okay. You are raising hand? Because of his body So that's the same question. Whether body is suffering or the soul is suffering? Soul is suffering. Soul is suffering? So soul is suffering. But that's what my question is. Can soul suffer? Huh? So soul is suffering.
Soul cannot suffer false identification, false ego, because of identity with body.
So soul is suffering. Because false identity, soul is suffering. Means soul can suffer. Then that contradicts, na? Anandamaya Bhyasat. Soul is not suffering. Huh? Soul is suffering. So Shikarpur and Bashar has to argue now. One is telling soul can suffer, another is saying soul is not suffering. How to solve this puzzle? Okay, with my limited understanding, I'll try to analyze. Right. So the soul is now thinking that I am this body. Soul is not this body, na? Soul is thinking that I am this body, and this is called as ajnana. In ignorance, or because of illusion, by the covering of Maya, Avaranatmika Shakti, soul forgets his real identity that I am servant of Krishna. And he identifies that I am this body made up of Panchamahabhuta, the mind, intelligence, false ego. He identifies with all these things. Sometimes there is identification strongly with the body. श्री श्री राधा विनोद जी की राय, श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की राय, श्री श्री नित्यानंद नटवर गौर सुंदर की राय, श्री प्रभुपाद की राय. Sometimes the soul identifies strongly with the mind, strongly with the physical body, right, or with the intelligence, according to the level of identification, where it is strongly identifying. So that determines its consciousness. So then we have Panchakoshas, no? Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, and there is Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya Koshas. No? So based on this identification of who I am, the soul actually considers I am so and so, and that identity, when it is disturbed or when it is re-emphasized, then he becomes either happy or morose. No? Right? Suppose somebody says, "You are a very good boy." Oh, I am good boy. Because I am a boy, I am good boy. Some good girl. Oh, you're a good girl. And somebody says, "You're a good girl," nothing will happen to you because you're boys, you're a man. But a girl will feel, "Oh, I'm a good girl, so I'm appreciated very much." So that because that identity is at that level. But if somebody appreciates you, you're a good devotee. Oh, yes, I'm a very good devotee. Thank you, Prabhuji. I want to be a good devotee. Because you're identifying yourself with the as a devotee. So based on what we identify with, when that something happens to that, when somebody glorifies that, when somebody disturbs that, then that causes an illusion of happiness or suffering. Right? Srimad Bhagavatam says that the moon in the sky is reflected in the lake in the night. And the moon is steady and very clean and bright, but in the reflection sometimes it is disturbed. And it appears shaky. So soul is always pure, always in its proper situation. But when it identifies with itself with the matter in the surface of desire, material desires. Urdhamulam madashakam ashyatam prahuravayam. Prabhupada there says that the material world is reflected on the lake of desire or mirror of desire. So when the soul forgets Krishna and develops material desire, and there all the material identifications and material relationships, they all start. And the nature of material world is it is temporary. So he experiences dualities because of the temporariness of this material world. Sukha, dukkha. Then there is birth and death. And shoka, moha, bhaya, all these things are experienced. Actually, soul is not suffering, but soul is, because of material identity, he thinks that he is suffering, but he actually is not suffering. Another example is given of a dream, which comes many times in Bhagavatam. In the dream, you identify with someone, but in the dream, suppose you think that you are the king, And then people are glorifying you in the dream. They're putting you on a nice golden throne, putting a diamond kirit on your head, and two people are fanning, and all the people are following your orders. You feel so nice. It's a dream. You feel very pleasant, very happy. But in the dream, if there is a war going on, somebody kills you, the enemy kills, and immediately there is a shock. Immediately a person wakes up. So in the dream we experience happiness and misery, but it is illusory. But when you wake up from the dream is over. Sometimes you don't remember also what is the dream. You try to recollect, but you can't get it because that is all memory closed, access denied. So this is how the soul also imagines that I am this body. But because of that imaginary connection, there is perception of happiness and distress. But happiness and distress, shoka moha, birth, death cannot touch the soul. So is the soul suffering? No. Soul cannot suffer material misery. Soul cannot enjoy material pains, pleasures. Soul cannot actually experience material pain and material happiness. So soul can only experience transcendental happiness and transcendental misery. So in the conditioned state, the soul is separated from Krishna, that's why it is suffering. Are gopis suffering in Vrindavan? Yes, they are suffering transcendental pain of separation from Krishna. Because Krishna is not there in Vrindavan. He has left Vrindavan and has gone to Dwarka. They are not able to see him. They are not able to enjoy pastimes with him. They are not able to serve him. They are not able to cook for him. So they are experiencing pangs of separation. A lot of grief is there. But their experience is of great ecstasy. But when the conditioned soul, by the influence of Maya, when he actually forgets Krishna, he is also suffering. That suffering is because of forgetfulness of Krishna. Actually, the soul is hankering for Krishna, but he is not able to get Krishna. That's why soul is suffering. So in one sense, soul is not suffering material pains and pleasures, but on the other hand, the soul is actually suffering because of separation from Krishna. So that's why the soul is hankering for Krishna, but that hankering for Krishna is being directed towards material things. It can be material people, like parents are very attracted to children. As my child, recently I heard that one boy was born to a family, and after 12 days only the boy died. The family was so happy that we have got a child, the two boy child, the first child, the boy child we have got. And then after 12 days, because of some complication, the child died, and then parents are in such separation, such pain, isn't it? So attachment to any material things will surely cause happiness and distress, harsha shoka, right? Birth and death also. So we keep on taking birth and keep on dying again and again and again. So this is what Prabhupada is explaining in this purport. Every living entity who has come to this material world has come here for material enjoyment. But according to his own karma, he must accept a certain type of body given to him by material nature unto the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay. So our body, this body what we have now, is given by whom? Krishna. It is not in our control. We are awarded this body. We can't change it. If you want to change, you have to die and again take birth. That's it. So you are born to certain parents. You can't change it. If you want another parent, you have to die and again take birth through their womb. So this is how the karma, actually it's my own karma, but awarded by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, in order to get the results of my own karma, I depend on the Supreme Lord. I cannot access my own karmas, whether good or bad. Lord awards them. As said in Bhagavad Gita, Prakrite kriyamanani gune karmani sarvasha. Everything is being done by Prakriti, material nature, under the direction of the Supreme Lord. So, and Lord also doesn't directly cause your birth and death. He causes it through Prakriti. Prakriti does it. So Prakriti acts on us and Lord directs Prakriti. Maya dakshena Prakriti suvite characharam. Hetuna anena kaunteya jagat viparivartate. So the Lord is telling, under my adhyakshata, under my supervision, everything is happening. Maya Devi is working. And Maya Devi is acting on us by the will of the Lord. So indirectly we are suffering because of the will of the Lord. That's how the connection is. So another question may arise, okay, if Prakriti is the cause of my happiness and suffering, why some people are happy and why some people are suffering? Is it that Lord is partial? कुछ लोगों को happiness दे रहे हैं, कुछ लोगों को distress दे रहे हैं. What is the right understanding? Who is the cause of my material miseries? We ourselves. In specific, our own karma. Karma is because of desires. Desires. Prabhupada mentioned that at the end of this purport. Desire. When I desire something, then the Lord, who is sitting as Paramatma in my heart, either sanctions it or rejects it. If the Lord sanctions it, then Prakriti is ordered. Okay, this fellow has got this desire, fulfill it. So then the Prakriti starts acting and Prakriti fulfills the desire. But if the Lord rejects the desire, oh, he doesn't deserve it, reject it, then Prakriti doesn't act. So Prakriti is working, but Prakriti works according to my desire. Like somebody has a desire to eat a lot of flesh. That small desire is there. He wants to eat all the non-veg items. So and intensely is desiring. So next life he'll become a tiger. Okay. Lord will say, you have to struggle so much in this human body to eat flesh. You can't digest also, you'll get cancer and so many diseases. You eat in a tiger's body. Right? Even if you eat rotten flesh, you will not die. That kind of body it is. You eat. So the Lord fulfills the desires through Prakriti. But I got that body because of my desire. So Prakriti has its role and my desire has a particular role. So this is also explained in Bhagavad Gita. It is said that कार्य करण कर्तृत्वे हेतु प्रकृतिरुच्यते पुरुषः सुख दुःखानां भोक्तृत्वे हेतुरुच्यते. Yeah, can you repeat this verse? कार्य कारण कर्तृत्वे हेतुः प्रकृतिरुच्यते पुरुषः सुख दुःखानां भोक्तृत्वे हेतुरुच्यते. कार्य कारण, cause and effect. Karya means effect. Karana means cause. Karya karana kartritva hetuhu. Who is the cause of these actions? Prakriti. Material nature is the cause. And Purushaha sukha dukkhanam. What is the cause of my happiness and distress? Bhoktrutva, my desire to enjoy. Bhoktrutva heturuchyate. Nature is said to be the cause of all material causes and effect. Durga Devi is the cause of all this material cause and effect, like rainfall, and there is heat or cold, right, or growing of trees and all the resources which they are producing. So that is all by the nature, Prakriti. Whereas a living entity is the cause of various sufferings and enjoyment in this world. Right? Yeah. So, there are 84 lakh species of life, and these varieties are creations of material nature. Okay? They arise from the different sensual pleasures of the living entity, who thus desire to live in this body or not. When he is put into different bodies, he enjoys different kinds of happiness and distress. His material happiness and distress are due to his body and not to himself as he is. In his original state, there is no doubt of enjoyment. Therefore, that is his real state. Because of his desire to lord it over material nature, he is in this material world. In the spiritual world, there is no such thing. So why the jiva has come to this material world? To enjoy, to desire, to lord it over material nature. The spiritual world is pure, but in the material world, everyone is struggling hard to acquire different kinds of pleasures for the body. It might be more clear to state that this body is the effect of the senses. This body is the effect of the senses. Senses are the cause. The senses are instruments for gratifying desire. Now the sum total, body and instrument senses, are offered by material nature. As will be clear in the next verse, the living entity is blessed or damned with circumstances according to his past desire and activities. According to one's desire and activities, material nature places one in various residential quarters. Okay, so according to my desire, I am placed in different species, 84 lakh species. Either higher species or middle species or lower species. So, my desire is the main cause, and then Prakriti facilitates by the will of the Lord. The being himself is the cause of his attaining such residential quarters and his attendant enjoyment and suffering. So, I am the cause of my happiness, and my desire is the cause of my material happiness and distress. Once placed in some particular kind of body, he comes under the control of nature because the body, being matter, acts according to the laws of nature. At that time, the living entity has no power to change that law. So then Prabhupada explains about dog life and hog life. A dog and hog, dog on the street side and hog in eating stool. So their kind of happiness is fixed. They have to eat stool only. Isn't it? Yeah, but when we meet our friend Suparna, yesterday also the word Suparna was coming. No? Suparna means our friend, the bird friend who is sitting next. Dva Suparna Sayuja Sakhaya Samane Vrikshe Parishashvajate. So the two birds sitting on the branch, and that branch is the heart. One is Atma, another is Paramatma. When you turn towards Krishna, that's the end of our suffering. But as long as we forget Krishna and try to enjoy the fruits of the tree, we suffer. So in this way, we should turn towards Krishna. That will put a full stop to all the illusory sufferings which we are right now experiencing. Yeah. So that's why desire is very powerful. Once Srila Prabhupada was going in a car, and one devotee came running and asked, Prabhupada, how can I go back to Godhead? Right? How can I go back to Godhead? And how can I? Yeah. So he asked that question. So then Prabhupada immediately replied, desire. He just told one word, desire. If you desire to go back to Godhead, you can go back to Godhead. So we should develop a strong desire to go back to Godhead, to attain Krishna. So to the degree our desire becomes strong and strong and strong, at that speed, to that extent we can attain Krishna early. Tatra laulyam api ekalam mulyam. Right? Janma koti sukruti bhir na labhyate. We desire that laulyam, Laulyam means what? Desire, but intense desire, intense greed. Nowadays we see people are greedy for money, such intense greed for money. People are putting their money in stock exchange, they're doing trading and this and that to put little money and get more money. Right? So they're greedy for money. So similarly, we should be greedy for Krishna. Laulyam. How many rounds I'm chanting, how many hours of reading I'm doing, how much service I'm doing, what kind of responsibilities I'm taking. Right? And materialistic people also are greedy for position. You see, for sake of position, they're like tooth and nail, they fight. So in the corporate ladder, they want to grow up and up and up and up and up. And for that, they work hard and hard and hard. Till they become a CEO of the company, they'll not stop. No? And from there, they want to jump to another company, bigger company. They'll become CEO there. Goes on and on. They have intense desire to be at the top of the ladder. So same thing we should also develop for Krishna to become the servant of the servant of the servant, servant of the servant of the servant. Desire to serve. Morai abhilash vilas kunje diyavas nayane haribo sada yugala ruparashi. So all our songs which we sing, they are nothing but lalasa. Lalasa mai prarthana. Tulsi arthi is lalasa mai prarthana. And at the night we sing this Radha Krishna Pranamura. Yugala Kishore Jivane Marane Gati Aranahi Mo. So we are actually praying. Lalita Vishaka Adi Jata Sakhe Vrinda Agnyaya Kuribo Seva Charana Ravinda. Right, so Narottam Thakur is praying, oh Lord, please give me opportunity to serve you under the order of Lalita and Vishaka Devi. I want to offer chandan to you. I want to offer flower garlands to you. I want to offer nice kirtan to you and so many things I want to cook for you. So like this, so many desires are there for serving Krishna. So that is lalasa. We have to develop that lalasa. Right? One should not, if one has no lalasa for serving Krishna, then he can't advance. Even after millions of years. So one has developed lalasa for serving Krishna. So he is advancing in Krishna consciousness. So what we should do is we should take initiatives for serving Krishna. Take initiatives, make plans. Yesterday we were having a meeting with Radhesham Prabhu. Radhesham was telling, one devotee is asking a question, Prabhuji, should we have big plans or should we have small plans to serve Krishna? And what Prabhupada said? Prabhupada said, think big. Prabhupada never thought small. Think big and then depend on Krishna. So the question was actually, you think big, we make big plans, we want to do big projects for Krishna, but then we think I did this for Krishna. That should not come. What should come? I want to do something great for Krishna, but I also depend on Krishna for this. If he desires, let this happen. And I should not be attached to being the greatest devotee or greatest doer for service of Krishna. I should be a servant of Krishna, and if Lord wills, let me do this. Oh Lord, if you want this for your service, I am here for you. I'll serve you. Isn't it? If you want anything, I am here. So Lord, I want to serve you. So in this way, one should try to be in a humble spirit, try to serve Krishna, not think that I am the controller. Right? Right. Some people also think, Prabhuji was telling, some people think I have built this temple for Krishna and I have given place for Krishna to stay here. No. What should be the consciousness? The Lord is so kind that He has allowed us to make this temple for Him, and He has given some place for us to stay so that we can serve. Just like suppose there is a big Karodpati, he has a very big mansion, but he'll have servant quarters also. Right? Brahmacharya ashram is like servant quarters, where all the servants they stay, and whenever Lord wants service, come and serve. That's how that should be the consciousness. Lord has made this big building, His temple, And we are small servants, chota mota, and we also enjoy these facilities in service of Krishna. That's all. But if you think I am the controller, I am the enjoyer, no. That is not the right consciousness. That is the wrong consciousness. Right consciousness is we are servants of Krishna, and Krishna has given us place to stay so that we can serve Him. That's all. That's the right consciousness we should develop. Otherwise, this desire to control will come. It's my temple, my people, my funds. I will use it. I will do whatever I want. So that kind of consciousness is deadly for our own spiritual growth. Because till that ahankara and mamakara doesn't go away, till that das bhav doesn't develop, we can't advance. Krishna will not reveal to us. So in this way, so Prabhupada is telling that Lord knows all our desires. He is sitting in our heart, na? Sarvasachaham hridi sannivishta matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. So Lord knows everything within our heart, and then accordingly He fulfills those desires at the right time. So, from this whole shloka, what we can understand is that the soul desired to forget Krishna, and then the soul has got this material body, and his experience of happiness and misery is illusory. Soul cannot, material suffering and material happiness cannot touch the soul. But the so-called experience of happiness, misery we have is illusory. When the soul wakes up to its real consciousness, everything is gone. This whole material existence is dissolved. Nothing exists. So only spiritual bliss exists. So we should try to overcome this material consciousness and develop spiritual consciousness. And one more point we discussed was that how the material nature is working under the guidance of Krishna. So material prakriti, it actually causes birth and death based on whatever desires we have cultivated. So we also at the end discussed about power of desires. So desires are very powerful. Even if you have a small material desire, material nature will fulfill it, and you have to take another birth to fulfill it. In every birth, one prominent desire is fulfilled. So we have millions of desires. So we have to take millions and millions of births to fulfill all the desires. So that's why we should try to become desireless. Desireless in the sense we should cultivate only desire to serve Krishna. Only that should remain. And all desire to enjoy this material world should go away. So in that state of consciousness, we will be able to realize Krishna and go back to Godhead. So I'll stop here. Any comments anybody has or any questions?
Wealth should be accepted like salt, not too much, not too less. Sense gratification.
Wealth, he said.
So, when sense gratification, what options accept it as much as needed, or aim should be there to completely end it?
Prabhupada says here, Nirashirata Chittatma Tyakta Sarva Parigraha Shariram Kevalam Karma Kuran Apnoti Kalvisham. Prabhupada says that such a man of understanding acts with mind and intelligence perfectly controlled, gives up all sense of proprietorship over his possessions, and acts only for the bare necessities of life. Okay? In order to live in this body, and Shariram Kalu Dharma Sadhanam, it is an instrument for practicing Dharma. So for that we need this body. So whatever is required to maintain this body, we should do that. That much of sense gratification is acceptable. Acts only for bare necessities of life. Thus working, he is not affected by sinful reactions. So, Prabhupada says here. So he moves exactly like a part of a machine. As a machine part requires oiling and cleaning, for maintenance. So a Krishna conscious man maintains himself by his work just to remain fit for action in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. He is therefore immune to all the reactions of his endeavor. Like suppose you have a car, you oil it, you fuel it, then you take it to service or garage, then it can fulfill your purpose. But if it is not used for 1 month, it doesn't start, it doesn't fulfill your purpose. When you need it, it's not working. So similarly, the body also needs to be serviced. We need to take bath every day. We need to brush our teeth. We need to clean our stomach. We need to eat something, exercise. That's sense gratification only. We are gratifying our body. So whatever extent it is required, only that much should be done, not more. We need to sleep also. That's also sense gratification. So we need to do 6 hours, 7 hours, what is required, that much only. So that we can serve remaining 18 hours properly. If you sleep 6 hours and you are fresh, you can serve 18 hours. Isn't it? The purpose should be service of Krishna, and for that, whatever is required, that much we can accept.
When it comes to prasadam, jnanis and all, they mix everything and they do that sweet.
Niswada. Swaminarayan people have this principle, Niswad. Don't enjoy tastes. So they mix all tastes. Khatta, meetha, khara, everything they mix and then they eat. But our philosophy is not that. No, hey Shak, Krishna swadilo, Shaka kariya swadane, Krishna preme. Heard that? Aise mane. Hey Shak, Krishna swadilo. We take it as remnants of Krishna. Krishna has eaten and has given Mahaprasad, so I will relish it. And that's Krishna conscious sense gratification. It's not a Jnani type of sense gratification. Jnanis want to reject the food, but we want to accept it as Krishna's prasad. But we follow Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whatever he taught, we'll follow. He didn't do this, Niswada. He enjoyed each and every item separately. We treat Krishna as prasad. We treat prasad as Krishna, sorry. Prasad is Krishna, because Krishna has touched it, it has become transcendental, and we try to honor it. We don't try to enjoy it, we try to honor prasadam. ठीक है. हरे कृष्णा. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय.